Hi everybody, my name is Seishin. I'm a Buddhist priest of the Shikando Tendai Temple based on the south coast of England. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you about the origins of some of the verses that you typically find in a Tendai Lay Gongyo. First, I just want to preface this video by disclaiming that I am not a historian, I am not a scholar, nor an ajari, nor do I hold any particular rank. Therefore, there may be errors in this talk, and this should not be taken as a reflection of the Tendai School or my teachers. If you feel I have made a mistake, please feel free to leave a comment to correct me. The kanji gongyo, stemming from the Chinese, means something like diligent or assiduous practice, and refers to the regular recitation of the Buddha's teachings and other such practices. It is also known as ochitome, meaning to carry out one's work, duty or business. Although often called puja, the Gongyo of Tendai Buddhism is actually based around the repentance practices of the Chinese lineage ancestors. That's not to say that puja or praise doesn't exist in Tendai, of course. The first verse here is known as Sanrai, which means 3 courtesies or 3 bows. The exact origins of the verse are unknown, but can be found in the ritual for veneration of the Dharma Flower Sutra. Other variations of this verse can be found in texts such as the Lotus Repentance Ritual, the Lotus Samadhi Ritual, and the Golden Light Sutra Repentance Ritual, all of which suggest the verse possibly originated with Master Chi or Master Hoisi. The next verse is Sangamon, meaning verse of repentance or confession. Sangamon is taken from the verse at the end of chapter 39 of the Avatamsaka Sutra. Next is Sanki Sankyo, meaning something like 3 refuges, 3 verses. The Sanki Sankyo verse is taken from the Avatamsaka Sutra, chapter 11. While Sanrai is a verse of veneration, this verse contains the act of taking refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. This ritual is the primary act for all Buddhists of all denominations. Next is Kaikyoge, meaning open sutra verse. The Kaikyoge is a verse of mindfulness, usually recited before opening a sutra. The author of this verse is uncertain, however it is believed to have originated in China. According to one story, in the Tang dynasty, Empress Wu invited the 2 famous monks, Jinshu and Enno, to Chang'an. When they arrived to articulate her awe at meeting the 2, she recited the now famous verse. In another story, the verse was written by Shikshananda as a preface to his translation of the Flower Garden Sutra at the request of Empress Wu. There are also other stories and other theories. The next verse is Junyoze, meaning the 10 thusnesses. This is a teaching on the 10 thusnesses or the 10 suchnesses, and is a verse taken directly from chapter 2 of the Lotus Sutra, as translated into the Chinese from Sanskrit by Kumarajiva. The verse can be found in the BDK version of the Lotus Sutra, page 28, first chapter. The Enmi Jaku Kanangyo, meaning Life Extended 10-Line Canon Sutra, is understood to be a summary of the slightly longer Ko-o Kanzayon Gyo, so called due to its connection with the Emperor Gao Huan. This sutra is also considered to be a summary of chapter 25 of the Lotus Sutra, also known as Canon Gyo. The earliest record of the Enmi Jaku Kanongyo is from the book called Busotoki, meaning the record of the lineage of the Buddha and the patriarchs, written in 1269 CE by the Tiantai monk Chi Pan. The book contains the transmission of the Dharma from the Buddha through Indian and Chinese patriarchs, according to the Tiantai school. On scroll number 36, the 27th year of the reign of Wanjia, Louis Song dynasty, a military commander, Ogenbo, failed to conquer the north. On the eve before being executed, he had a dream that told him, if you recite the Kanongyo 1,000 times, you'll escape your sentence. Ogenbo did as he is instructed in the dream, and the next day was spared execution. The Kanongyo in this story is not the same as the chapter found in the Lotus Sutra, but is the Enmi Jaku Kanongyo. On scroll number 37 of the same text contains a similar story of a person called Son Kei-toku, incarcerated for a crime he didn't commit during the Eastern Wei dynasty. While on death row, he recited the 25th chapter of the Lotus Sutra continuously, awaiting his execution. One night he had a dream of a monk who taught him the Ko'o Kanzeongyo. Waking from his dream, he immediately recited this sutra without making a mistake. As dawn broke, he was taken to be executed, still chanting the sutra. But when the executioner brought his sword down, it broke into pieces. He tried a second sword, but that too broke. Because of this miraculous event, the emperor granted Son a special pardon and was acquitted. In another story, on scroll number 53 of the same text, a woman loses her sight and is in despair. A person appears in her dream and tells her to recite the Kanongyo. After doing so, her sight is restored. The Eko, also known as the Hokke Jobutsuge, means transference of merit, or attaining enlightenment through the Lotus Sutra. This Eko comes directly from the Lotus Sutra, as translated from Sanskrit into Chinese by Kumarajiva, chapter 7. In the BDK version of the text, it is at the bottom of page 136. The Shichi Butsu Tsu Kaige, meaning the verse of the commandment commonly taught by the 7 Buddhas of the past. A universal verse that can be found in numerous texts and sutras across all traditions, such as the Pali Dhammapada, the Chinese Sufen Lu, and numerous agamas. The 7 Buddhas refers to the named 7 Buddhas of the past, with Shakyamuni being the 7th. The next verse is Endo Sho, meaning perfect sudden enlightenment. The Endo Sho is almost entirely taken directly from the Makashikan, a text written by Master Chi, with the exception of the last verse, Tochi Shindo, which is taken from Master Zanran's commentary. The first is Chariraimon, meaning verse honoring the relics of the Buddha. It is believed this verse originates from India and was brought to China by the Vajra master Amagavajra. The title of this text derives from the Sanskrit hybrid word charira, meaning relic, which derives from the original Sanskrit term sharira, meaning body. Sharira can also refer to Dhammakaya Sharira, or sutras that were taught by the Dhammakaya. The relics themselves are typically pearl-like solids left over after the body of eminent monastics, bodhisattvas, or Buddhas are cremated. These relics are considered to emanate blessings to those who pay respects to them. They are also believed to ward off evil. Relics are typically stored in stupas. Next, we have the Hongaku-sen, meaning original enlightenment verse. This verse is an extract from the Myoho Renge Zanmai Himitsu Sanmaya Kyo, or the Sutra of the Secret Sanmaya Symbols of the Samadhi of the Lotus Blossom of the Wonderful Dharma, or for short, Renge Sanmai Kyo. It is an esoteric text said to have been brought back from China by Enchin and translated from Sanskrit by Amagavajra. However, it is now known to have been written in Japan around Annan's time, and possibly even written by Annan himself, although Annan claims this text was brought back from China by Kukai. These days, only this text is recited. The sutra asserts the unity of the womb and diamond realms through an esoteric interpretation of the Lotus Sutra. Lastly, we have the Nembutsu Ekoge, meaning the mindfulness of the Buddha merit transference verse. This verse is found in the longer Pure Land Sutra. This list isn't exhaustive, and there are many more verses that we could include, but I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.